Hey guys, before the video starts, I just want to let you know that all three of my books, Powerless Book 1 Potential, Powerless Book 2 Imagination, and Powerless Book 3 The Academy, are all on sale now at Amazon.com. If you want more, please message me on Instagram or Facebook, Powerlessbybr, and I can get a signed copy shipped out to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Powerless Discussions. I'm your host, Brandon Rouse. And today I am joined by the squad, Marcus, Jarrell, Ferrante, Adrian, Alfred, Black Men, Kings of Excellence. And today we are doing an episode of Black Men. We're just basically going to get into some topics of misconceptions about Black men and give our opinions on it because, as I've said in other episodes, one mind doesn't speak for all. And the six of us aren't speaking for all Black men. We're just speaking for our experiences. And that's what basically makes it us, individuality. So the first topic I want to bring up, and we're going to run this to Marcus first, and then Jarrell, Ferrante, Adrian, Alfred. Topic is, how do you feel about people saying all Black men are the same?
I think they full of shit.
Start it off.
And you know why I'm gonna say they full of shit? We come in different shapes, sizes, fucking colors. You got the light skinned Black men, you got the dark skinned Black men, but you know you can't put everybody in the same category. You know you got niggas that ain't shit. You got people like me that just trying to do the right thing, trying to make a living, but we still getting the same treatment. You know, but we all the same because if we all get stopped, it's more than likely we getting arrested. So that's my take on it. And I'll talk more later.
Okay. Jarrell?
I'm falling behind. I think that's bullshit. That's like it always comes from a woman who's been bitter. Like she got a wrong card dealt to her by the men she chose. And now she put that view on everybody else because of her selection. And I think that's just wrong. You can't sum all of us up. That's like doing the same thing white people do. When you see one bad Black man, you think all Black men are bad. So like you can't group because then you look like an idiot because now you're making false assumptions. You can't be doing that. You can't jump off the cliff just because you see one do it. You have to see. You got to make sure you know who you're talking to is who you're talking to. So if we're gonna talk about this, we could talk about why they pick the men that they do. You know,
I'll bring that up in a minute. Ferrante?
So yeah, I feel it's super stupid, and it's also honestly real hypocritical because it's easy for like women to want to lump men into one category, but the second a man says, "Hey, you're like everybody else I've been with," then fucking all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah.
it's not even fair to you. We're all individuals. If you want to be treated like an individual, you have to treat us like an individual. You know what I'm saying? Learn us like you want us to learn you. So
Adrian, hit him.
Piggybacking the same thing, yeah. Like stupid as fuck. I mean, you got men from all Black men from different backgrounds. Like we are all not the same. You got some who were raised properly. You got some who were raised with two parents in the household, one parent in the household, or some no parent in the household. So they're learning just like any other man is. So the conception of having both parents really don't make it better. Say you got the best of the best, but no, all Black men are not the same. So you gotta. It's all about who you pick, who you can deal with. If you've been hurt one time, talking to the ladies, if you've been hurt one time, you cannot take that out on every Black man that comes your way because you might be missing out on a blessing. Have to open up a lot of eyes on that. Had to open up a lot of eyes on that.
Big facts right there.
Alfred, hit him.
All right, so I'm gonna take a whole 360 on this joint, right? It got to be the one to do it. So it's bullshit. It's bullshit, man. But why is it bullshit? It's because of media and entertainment and how it perceives the Black man. Example of this, right? Most of the rappers that we tend to spending money on stupid shit or whatever like that. Like it's the typical rap song and stuff, whatever like that everybody gravitate to. So I believe perception, shaping perceptions and stuff or whatever like that. So the media shapes the perception of a black man to be this thug, to be the violent, cruel person. And that's a basic take on it. It's just perception. I think that that you can't put all of us in one group and say, oh, all of them are thugs. No, that's not correct. Because if we're gonna do that, then we can say, okay, all black women are hoes or some shit or whatever like that, which isn't true or whatever like that. Like that's just the type of person you deal with. That's the perception that's being fed to us through the media and everything. So yeah, change the media perception and the narrative of a black man, and I think everything will change and iron itself out.
Yeah, facts. Okay. I think all about the psychology of it.
Hey, I might have to go first next time.
My bad.
But
take all the good shit.
I know, right?
No, but
hey man,
yeah.
I read about this shit all the time. I study this shit all the time, bro. Like,
but I'm glad
I see it, man.
I'm glad I'm surrounded by individuals of like-mindedness, but like-minded individuals, because it's something that's been fed into a lot of people, you know. It's really hard to get out of a way you were raised, and if one bitter person raises another bitter person, and that person raises another bitter person, it's a vicious cycle.
Continuous cycle.
Yeah, and it's not even something that they've learned from experience. It's just something they've learned from their.
We're taught.
Yeah, they're taught,
Yeah.
and that's a dangerous thing too. Having or finding a partner, black woman or whatever women you free to date, finding one of them that are latching on to like other people's thoughts or other people's notion of a certain culture. You know, I don't know if you ever see those pictures where it says racism isn't born, it's taught. It's just like that. If you never teach a black woman that black men are bad, or she never sees images that black men are bad, would she still walk up to us and look at us the same way other women who have been raised to feel that way would? You know? If you never knew what a snake was, would you be afraid of it?
Probably will.
Yeah. I mean,
people know what it is and still scared of them.
Yeah. I mean, even if I use harmless animals, if you walked up on a harmless animal and didn't know what it was, would you be afraid of it? No. But because people have been raised to hate us or fear us, it's just lodged in their mind. It's just something that it's better safe than sorry. You know? Why take the risk of walking down the same street as a black man when you can just cross it just in case something happens? Or why risk dating a black man when you can just date somebody of another race who, you know, you've heard about the Carfax on, to put it lightly. You know? I've literally been dumped by people I haven't dated because I'm a black man. Like I was telling the story to you guys, a girl in college who I liked wouldn't give me the time of day because she assumed that all black men were thugs. I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, so I don't know what perception of me she got from that.
You were.
I was playing I was playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh at the time.
You was playing
card drop, like, and she was like, all black men are thugs. That's why I don't date black men. I'm like, I'd have on suspenders if I could find them. So I mean, I don't get it. But that's just, we are sum total of the shit we've been through.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Next topic. Next topic.
What topic?
Black men are afraid to be with black women. Before we start, I just want to state these are topics from women, not women that speak for everybody, but just women who actually gave me topics that they want answered. So I'm not going to name names, but these are the topics they want to hear about. So these are what we're going to talk about.
That sound like a bias.
So black men, how do you feel about the statement of black men being afraid to date black women? We're going to start inverse this time. We're going to start with Alfred. And we're going to go the opposite way. Go for
it. I won the lottery. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see. The question is, why are black men afraid to date black women? I don't think we are afraid. One, that's grouping us together again. So let's get that out the way. Not all black men are afraid. I love my sisters. I can't get enough of them. But like, I don't think we're scared. I think there's a lot of friction between both the black man and the black woman. There's a lot of stuff that we haven't addressed as a community, as a family, as black men and black women. Like how, we just don't, typically we don't get along and stuff or whatever, and we kind of butt heads on certain topics and stuff or whatever like that. So I don't believe the fear is there. I think it's just, again, it's perception of both sides. And that perception thing goes both ways, because like my perception of a black woman, like when I was in high school till now, is way different than what it was back then. Like, I just thought that everybody shake ass and do the do and stuff or whatever like that. Like, I like shit. I trying to get down, like, you know what I mean? But up to now, like now I look at it as I value the black woman so much because my mother and my grandmother played a huge role in me becoming who I am and stuff or whatever. So yeah, the whole being afraid thing, man, that's crazy. I think because I've been talking to one of my good friends today, and they said we've been talking about how the media kind of portrayed, like, interracial relationships and everything. Like, I don't have a problem with it. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But I don't know if you guys ever noticed this in media, or how it's always the black man and the white woman, like on TV, or like with somebody, an athlete or entertainer or anything like that. It's kind of like publicized that, okay, that's the interracial relationship. So, if you see that all the time on TV, of course you're gonna think like, oh, why these athletes, why black men always run into white women or whatever like that. Like, it's always going to be there, when in reality, like, the athletes and entertainers, they count for like, about 10% of black men on this planet. You know what I mean? So it's not all black men that's running away from black women. Like, if they can get that out, mental or whatever like that, maybe, things that they'll find the right guy and stuff or whatever like that. A lot of that goes into that too, just them searching in the wrong places. But that's all I had to say about it.
Okay. Ferrante.
Oh, all right. So, y'all are going to have to forgive me. I'm going to speak from the beginning from a point of ignorance, but it's going to help prove my point. So, when I was younger, when I was growing up in my school ages, I was myself one of the guys was like, I'm not going to date a black woman, because I come from a family. I come from a family with 3 sisters and my mom. And I was real close to my little sister. We lived together, but she kind of valued the life you see on BET. I hate to say it like that. And I always told myself I would not be with somebody like that. And it actually took me to join the army and get around the world to kind of shed that preconceived notion of black women. Because I'm going to keep it real. it's really easy to get a misinterpretation of what black women are like. You really gotta. It's when you see them on TV, this is like it's like us black men. You see them on TV, and I imagine it's super easy to get the wrong idea. But you meet people all over the world, and you're like, oh, well, you're like me. You like to watch anime, and you are better than me at Smash Brothers, and you can build a computer. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with that, and you learn that black women have this strength that is just like immeasurable, and you're like, okay, I am an idiot because these women are wonderful, and I've given them the wrong idea. And I think that's a thing that a lot of black women, a lot of black men are scared of, is the strength that black women can have, because they have to deal with a lot of crap. You know what I'm saying? They deal with a lot of nonsense. I feel like I'm not saying it's one of those things where I feel like just hearing about it from the missus, they deal with so much nonsense. You go to work and you have to put on a grin and smiley face because if a black woman comes into a job, you know what I'm saying, and don't have a smile on your face, you're perceived as aggressive. And it's just, you know what I'm saying, it's wearing them different hats. And it's just, I think that strength and that the assertiveness that they can have kind of scares people. But I think it just takes them time to just, you know, sit yourself down and kind of be like, okay, black women can be just as outgoing and intelligent and amazing as anybody else in the world, even more so. And it's just, you have to break your mind to that. That's all. I rambled, sorry.
No, man, this is the perfect time to do it. That was beautiful. that was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, I ain't got nothing left to say. Shit.
Jarrell, you better find something. If you can follow that, go for it.
Oh, me, to follow what Alfred said with the 10%, 80% of black men marry black women. So this is this whole fabrication of black men don't love black women. That's a fabrication. That's far from the truth. We marry within our own community 80% of the time. 20% is 10% of the NBA probably marrying some white girl or some Puerto Rican, or rappers marrying some other Boricua, or something like that. Shit, I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like black women don't want me because I'm like we're a different like category of the black community. Like black nerds. We're not very, not a big population of us. So all of us, we get looked over. For the guy that looks like the guy in the rapper video, or the GQ guy who played basketball or something. We get looked over for those guys. So we're left with outside of ourselves, outside of our communities, where they will take us in and accept us for who we are. So sometimes people go out that way. So it ain't that we don't want them. It's just that we're not highly desired ourselves. And we choose to go with something that do want us. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are theories. This is like a lot of things that goes into play about those things. But 80% of our community date black women. So they are not left. This whole thing about us dating white women and all that stuff, that's highly fabricated. You know what I'm saying? Very over dramatic. So I don't believe that at all.
Okay. Adrian.
I'm going to also call bullshit on that. But from experience, I will say this. I have been in an interracial relationship now about 2 years. And it's not the fact that black men are scared of black women. What drew me to her, I was always taught, I went to a predominantly white school. Our black population was probably maybe about 25% us. We made up my high school. So, I've learned to associate myself not just with a black community, white community, Latino community, whatever. That's just how I was raised. I was taught to love everybody. But the phrase of, if a black woman was to see me and my girl out right now, oh, he's scared to be with a black woman. No, I've dated black women all my life. Like, literally, this is my first interracial relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I still build upon that strength that I saw my mom have, single mother at that. So no, I don't hate my black women. I love my black women. They are my queens. Just who I'm with right now. That's just what my heart chose. I can't help that. You know what I'm saying? We get the perception growing up, looking at the entertainers, like, to piggyback on what a lot of y'all already said, the rappers, the NBA ballers, all that shit. We look and we glamorize that life. Like, I want a bitch like that. I want a fat ass bitch like that. I want a bitch with big titties like that. Nah, it ain't all about that. So we are not afraid of y'all. But again, that strength that the black women have, it does come from a deep down spot that men really can't understand. That's kind of scary, to be honest with you. It's scary to watch that strength just come out of nowhere. We are prone to be the dominant ones in a relationship always, especially. And then as a black man, we have a heavier weight on our shoulders to be that dominant. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we have a family to provide. So it's not the fact that we are afraid of y'all black women. No, we're not afraid of y'all. We love y'all. It's just sometimes is where the heart goes, but it's still respect there within the limits.
That's the best I've ever heard that put.
Boom.
That's great.
And that's just coming off of experience. Like I said, that's my first interracial relationship, and it took that for me to actually realize that. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not gonna say, do I know if I'm gonna marry this girl? People say they know once they with something. No, you don't know that shit. Stop. That should be a topic right there too, to be honest with you. But no, you don't know if you're gonna marry that person. I don't know if I'm gonna marry her. I just know that's what my heart is choosing right now. Something inside of her that I see that I didn't see in anybody else.
Right. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus.
After sitting back listening to everybody, I was gonna start it off with something different than where I'm gonna finish it, but definitely the attraction factor. Black men, we're not scared to date black women. If we're not attracted to you, we're not attracted to you. But that could be just you. Doesn't mean it's not the other black women in the population. And then one thing that kind of, being me as a black man, one thing that kind of pushed me away from a lot of black women would be the amount of strength that they're trying to perceive to me. Meaning, maybe you're not being as vulnerable to me as I want you to be. And I know we probably got a topic about black men not wanting to express themselves, but this black woman is maybe trying to be too strong to say she don't want me as a black man. And it's like, even though they say we're scared to be with them, y'all still choose a white man over us because y'all feel they can not only provide but offer that sense of security. So why would we keep trying to be with you if you're not really wanting to be with us? You want to choose this white man? Because I got black women on my Facebook, black women I know out in the street, work, friends from school and stuff, and they will all kind of say that they don't want a black man to date a black woman, but then when they see a black woman dating a white man, they all for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not scared to date y'all. We just don't want to put up with y'all bullshit because y'all too condescending with your own selves.
There you go.
That's where I'm at with that one.
Okay. Oh,
that hit different.
Nigga say you hit too hard. Nigga say you hit too hard. Say, ah. Okay. For me, personally, to jump on what Ferrante said earlier, I've never been afraid to date black women. I've dated black women more than anything, actually. It's always just been about what I saw and how I was raised, I'm not, my family's not super ghetto, but we lit, And it took me a long time. You know how you're embarrassed of something when you're young, but the older you get, the more you feel more connected to it. I was embarrassed of the way certain people in my family would act. And as I grew up, I realized I was just like them. I just saw it. It was just me looking at from the outside. Not seeing it compared to myself, Like, we're from Charleston, we Geechee. I just started a couple years ago appreciating my Geechee culture. You know, Adrian, you knew me. Terrell, most of y'all knew me for the longest of time. Like, I would speak very proper. It wasn't until like a couple years ago I started just letting my Geechee hang out. You know, being proud of it. But and there was the same misconception with black women. I would constantly date black women, but I would date the same kind of black woman over and over again. And then I had to realize that was on me. That was my fault.
Exactly.
I didn't allow myself to date the preppy black girl, the hood black girl, the nerdy black girl, the conservative black girl, the expressive black girl. You know, I didn't feel like those traits were something I could deal with in a black woman. And then as I got older, I realized those are traits you have to deal with in women. You know,
Period.
Women can be all these different things and none of these things, same as us. And there's so much in the community, like Alfred said, of always fighting against each other instead of just looking at each other and knowing what the other person is made of. You know, we assume just by looking at each other, this is how this person's going to act. This is how this person's going to treat me. I have a beautiful woman now that I'm dating. She's black, and I love everything about her. The expressiveness, the way she is. She's not the typical. Shut up. But I'm gonna go on a tangent. But like dead ass, like I mean, Ferrante, Marcus, I know y'all girls, like y'all girlfriends, y'all wives. Like, oh, matter of fact, wives. That's right, y'all married.
Yeah, they got wives.
But like on a grand scheme of things, compared to what the media shows tried to show us, not so much now, but back then of black women, the perception of what we have now is way off. Yes or no? Like,
I agree.
like dead ass, I never thought I'd be able to find someone like this. So that's my thing. It's not that black men are afraid. It's just a lack of what we want out that person, what we want from that person, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. It's just basically laws of attraction. Physically, mentally, spiritually.
Okay.
I don't believe in opposites attracting. Because if you don't have anything in common with the person, what's the point of being with that person?
Exactly.
You know? You're spending time with somebody who you have to force to do things you like, and they have to force you to do things they like. And you shouldn't have to compromise like that. You should be able to say, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go. Example, if I wake up and want to play the game, my girl wants to wake up and play the game with me. We just find something to play. Boom. I don't have to adjust what I want to do because she wants to do the same shit. I mean, it's stuff like that. Just find what you want in that category.